Christmas night was supposed to feel warm. The house was glowing with golden lights, laughter floating through the air like nothing in the world could go wrong. My father raised a glass, smiling wider than I'd seen in months. My sister, Alina, sat beside him quiet for once. Too quiet. I should have known. After dinner, Dad asked me to step into his study. His voice sounded calm, almost rehearsed. "I need you to understand something," he said, avoiding my eyes. That was the first crack in the perfect evening. He placed a folder on the desk. My name was on it. My property documents. The small rental house I had bought 3 years ago after working double shifts. Saving every dollar, sacrificing vacations. Friends, sleep, everything. "It's been transferred," he said softly. I laughed at first. Transferred? To who? He swallowed. "We had no choice." "We." My chest tightened. That's when Alina walked in. Her mascara was slightly smudged, like she'd been crying. "She owed people," Dad said. "Serious people." My ears rang. They had signed the papers using power of attorney I had trusted my father with. The rental income that was funding my future? Gone. Sold quietly 2 weeks ago. For her gambling debt? My voice cracked. "It wasn't just gambling," Alina snapped defensively. "It got out of control. Out of control. That house was my security. My independence. Me like the responsible. One who would figure it out." "You could have asked me," I whispered. Dad looked ashamed, but not enough. "You would have said no." He was right. Because I was tired of cleaning up her messes. Tired of being the stable one. Tired of sacrificing while she partied and borrowed and lost. Outside, people were singing Christmas carols. Inside, something in me died. "You chose her," I said quietly. "She's your sister, and I'm your son." But that didn't matter. They had already decided who was worth saving. I walked out without another word. The snow outside felt colder than it should have. I stared back at the house I helped maintain. The house where every Christmas I played the role of the dependable child. That night, I made a promise to myself. For weeks, I said nothing. I moved into a smaller apartment. Alina avoided me completely. But I wasn't coping. I was digging. The first thing I did was call the lawyer who handled the transfer. He hesitated at first, but after I pressed, he admitted something interesting. The sale price was far below market value, 30% below. I asked. It wasn't a stranger. It was my father's business partner. That's when the second crack appeared. I requested financial records. I reviewed timelines. I traced the debt payments. Yes, Alina owed money, but not as much as they claimed. The house wasn't sold just to clear her debt. It was leverage. Dad's business had been struggling. Quiet loans. Risky investments. The house sale covered multiple holes at once. I wasn't just sacrificed for Alina. I was sacrificed for his pride. Christmas night replayed in my head over and over. The rehearsed speech. The fake sadness. The way he said we had no choice. They had a choice. They chose themselves. So I made mine. I contacted the buyer, Dad's partner, and told him I was contesting the power of attorney. I claimed misuse of authority and coercion, which wasn't entirely a lie. The legal threat alone was enough to shake him. He didn't want trouble. Meanwhile, I gathered proof of Dad's hidden debts, bank transfers, late notices, emails. I wasn't planning to destroy him. I just wanted control. When Dad finally called, his voice wasn't calm anymore. "What are you doing?" he demanded. "What you should have done," I replied. "Protecting myself." "You're overreacting." "No," I said coldly. "I'm responding." There was silence on the other end. "You would ruin your own father? You already ruined your son." I gave him 2 options: reverse the sale legally and repay his partner another way, or face a lawsuit that would expose everything, including his failing business and financial mismanagement. He underestimated me for years. ... He wouldn't again. The house was returned to my name 3 months later, quietly. No celebration, no apology parade. Just signed documents and tense silence. Dad looked 10 years older when we met at the lawyer's office. Alina didn't come. I was trying to hold everything together, he muttered, at my expense. He didn't argue. That was news. But I wasn't finished. I changed the locks on the property. I raised the rent to market value. I refinanced it and used the equity to start something I'd been planning for years. Small real estate investment firm. This time, no one had access. No shared authority. No emotional manipulation. Just contracts. Alina tried calling me once. I was in a bad place, she said. You've been in a bad place your whole life, I replied calmly. At some point, it's just who you are. She cried. For once, I didn't. The next Christmas, I didn't go home. I rented out my house for a holiday premium. I spent the week traveling alone, watching snow fall in a different city, quiet, peaceful. Dad sent a message. Christmas isn't the same without you. I stared at it for a long time before replying. It wasn't the same for me either. Revenge isn't always loud. Sometimes it's legal paperwork. Sometimes it's boundaries. Sometimes it's becoming untouchable. They thought selling my property would fix their problems. Instead, it taught me something priceless. Family can betray you, but they don't get to bankrupt you twice. And that was the Christmas I finally took back what was mine.